Hey YouTube, welcome back. Now, as you know, New Horizons is all about progression, upgrading and unlocking features and characters, at least for a little while before you settle into island life. But with regular updates that led up to the most recent content update and smaller updates since then, players who begin their island journey now have quite a different experience to those who started closer to launch. Most notably how you interact with Red or Jolly Red and how you unlock the art gallery within the museum itself. In fact, thanks to the most recent update, not only is an entire feature missing, but an entire building upgrade is skipped too, which we'll get into. Now, I thought this would be interesting to cover more so for the sake of completeness, but it's also fun to dig deep into why these changes were made. But before we get into things, I just wanted to let you know myself and Crossing Channel have joined forces to work on a brand new project on a brand new channel called Ninty News. Here we'll be covering the latest Nintendo headlines, reviews, tips and tricks, and everything you need to know about your favourite Nintendo games. Our latest video is about the Pokeballs that have been uncovered for Pokemon Legends Arceus, so be sure to check it out. Plus, we're hosting a giveaway for a new OLED Switch, which is still live. Anyway, back on topic, players who started their island life any time before the previous content update would initially set up a tent for Blathers, donate a bunch of critters, and then upgrade to the Stage 1 museum. At this point, the next side quest would be to bump into Red wandering around your island. During your first encounter with Red, he would attempt to sell you a painting for a ridiculous cost, however eventually he would drop the price to only 1% of its value simply to make the sale. Luckily for players, this painting was always genuine. Sadly, this entire feature and interaction was removed in the 2.0 update, so anyone starting an island since or going forward won't have this experience or witness Red trying to rip you off. Fortunately, a new variation of this encounter was added in its place, and instead of Red selling you one genuine piece of art on the island, he'll now take you from the island back to his treasure trawler and offer you one of 4 pieces of art. Interestingly, this is the only time in the entire game that Red's treasure trawler stocks 4 genuine pieces of artwork, which again is good news for players as it really doesn't matter which one you pick. And I'm guessing if you have 4 players on your island, you could probably buy all 4 knowing Blathers would happily accept them at the museum. Anyway, the content removed surrounding this encounter doesn't stop there, as prior to 2.0, donating this artwork would trigger another museum upgrade to the Stage 2 museum building, which is the building most of us currently have on our islands. However, now, alongside the new Red encounter on his boat, this old Stage 1 museum is skipped altogether, which means if you started your island for the first time since version 2.0 release, you'll never actually be able to have this building, which is kind of sad in a way because it's pretty cute. Instead, players now donate to Blathers' tent and upgrade directly to Stage 2 building with the art gallery already integrated, completely bypassing the smaller Stage 1 museum. This change does streamline the process of unlocking the art gallery and furthermore the roost when the time comes, but there's 2 main reasons why this happens. Firstly, as we mentioned, 2.0 also added Brewster and the Roost, which could essentially be unlocked the moment you updated, which would have been significantly delayed for players with the Stage 1 museum. Secondly, 2.0 also added the shopping district or the plaza on Halves Island where Red can be invited permanently, which potentially allows for art to be purchased before the art gallery upgrade. So these new additions kind of forced Nintendo's hands to change Red's encounter and remove the middle upgrade to account for this and streamline the whole process for new players. Interestingly though, the Stage 1 museum does technically exist still, as of course there would have been a bunch of players out there who had this building on their island at the time during the 2.0 update. Sadly, for those players or anyone who still has this building would still have to meet the criteria for upgrading to the Stage 2 building rather than skipping it altogether. The good news though is it still means if you wanted to, you could probably track down an island or a dream address where this building still exists. As for the reasons mentioned earlier, it still has to be part of the game, it's just not accessible anymore to new players. So there we have it, a rather interesting change involving removing an entire feature almost and a building and essentially why it was changed. But what do you think about the Stage 1 museum? Do you still have it on your island or would you like to see it return someday? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, thank you so much to all the patrons and channel members for supporting this content, and until next time, have an amazing day, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.